Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Christy Innes, and I just wanted to take some time to introduce myself and kick off the first ever KCTE Fall Digital Learning Conference. We are looking at a theme of how to navigate this digital learning experience or any version of that you have or will have. We really are just unsure of how things will proceed. Districts across the state and beyond, depending on where you're tuning in from, just have all kinds of different plans. One thing is sure, we have to be brushing up on best practices for digital learning. And concurrently, we have racial inequities and issues happening across the country with respect to disparities. And so we need to make sure also that we hear a clear message about culturally responsive teaching and the role that plays in our classrooms moving forward so that we can make all students feel welcome and safe when they are with us to discuss things that are on their minds and move forward together in a positive way. So this year, we are unlikely to have an in-person conference in February, and we're still waiting to hear about what's going to happen with NCTE, the national version of our state organization. So I just wanted to touch base with you. I'll tell you more about the direction we're heading in as an organization, or that we would like to head in, and some opportunities you have with us that don't require face-to-face interaction, but that will connect you to other educators and allow you to recognize the hard work that your students are doing under your awesome direction and assistance. So that's coming next. But first, I want to show you how to navigate this platform because I know some of you are very familiar with both Edmodo and Microsoft Teams, but other people have never used them and are making an account for the first time. So when you start, you're going to first log into Edmodo, and if you haven't already created an account, you'll want to do that as a teacher. So you can sign up there at the bottom if you need to. But if you already have, like me, then I just link mine with my Google account through Mary State, and I go ahead and sign on that way. That's the easiest way, so I don't have to remember any passwords or anything like that. Once you're here, yours is going to look a bit different than mine, but ultimately you end up on this home page. And what you need to do is you need to figure out what it is, what courses or sessions, if you will, you would like to attend or participate in offline, whichever, for the conference. So you'll click classes. And I have all of them listed here that we have loaded into our program, but you won't likely have any unless you've already added something from our schedule. So the main schedule that I sent out to you has the list of class codes right here. So if you say, okay, I'm going to watch this opening session. Well, of course you are, because you're watching it right now. I do want you to look across, and then you will see which code you need. So if I was going to join that one, I would copy this code and go back to Edmodo and go create, join a class, and it's going to prompt me to add a code. When I do that, I'm going to be added to this class. So if you use a learning management system like Blackboard, it's just like adding a course to your list. Same with Canvas. Same with Moodle. I'm trying to think of other ones. Schoology, I have no idea, so don't ask me. Google Classroom is just very similar. All of them, you have to add a code to be added to the class. So say you're in this one, because everyone's going to be in this one. This is the opening session. So I will click on it once it's added, and what I will see in here is a quick description if I click there, which is also on the schedule, by the way. The spreadsheet, and then you will see a session reflection form, which you have to fill out after you've engaged in the session in order to earn credit and to give feedback. Speaking of that, that's one of the questions I'm sure I will get. For those of you who need the professional learning credit hours or are hoping to apply for up to 6 hours of EILA credit for leadership in Kentucky, We do not officially submit paperwork for you for any of those. That is up to you. So when you fill out this session form, I will see that and I will total all your hours up at the end of the conference, and within a week I will get you a certificate that shows how many total hours you earned and which sessions you attended. That way you should have the proof that you need on KCTE letterhead for any sort of professional learning credit that you're applying for. In addition, if you needed something else, you can just email me and let me know that you need a letter or something like that in addition to a certificate. That's totally fine. So once you're in here, you'll see anything that the presenter has asked me to post. That could include a folder full of information. It might be a message. It might be some kind of discussion that they're engaging in. Whatever it is will be here. This will also be a place for you to go to and discuss with anyone who was in this session, because I will add them as well, or they will add themselves to the session as well. So, 4 months down the road when you're using a strategy you learned, or you're thinking about a book someone talked about and you can't remember, then you might go back here to Edmodo and find that class and see what it is that the person shared with you, or connect with other people by clicking on members and you'll see who all has been added. Okay. So, for example, I see 3 participants plus me have already added themselves to this opening session, which is awesome. Everyone else will need to be added as well to this one, because this has just information in general and counts for the opening session hour. So then beyond that, with Edmodo, there's really no other thing to do with it unless you just want to. You can also send messages to people on Edmodo. So if you know a person in your group and you want to send them a message, it should go directly to their email that they have associated with their account. So if you would like to do that, you can do it through messages. Otherwise, there's really nothing else in Edmodo that you need for our purposes, but feel free to use it. Every teacher has a free version of Edmodo. I used to love it, and that was long before we had Google Classroom or any other learning management system that was actually student-friendly. So there's a lot to play with, and as one of our strands is best practices in digital learning, if you do not have an LMS system that is working for you at your school, and you're at liberty to choose a different platform, it might be something for you to consider moving forward. I know a lot of school districts have policies about everyone using the same thing to make it easier for students, so it may not be a choice you can make, but in case it is, this is a nice choice for you. Also, we chose to use it as our learning management system because it is completely free to our nonprofit organization. So I hope that you find that it works fine for you. It's working fine for me as a conference chair to organize this, and we'll probably use it moving forward even if we have a face-to-face conference this year. So beyond that, the other thing you're going to be using for our conference is Microsoft Teams. And so I have created a team for KCTE's Fall Literacy Conference. And if you have registered, then you've already been added to our conference. So for example, I am going to see here that if I look at all of the members, that I have added people as guests here with whatever email they use to register. If you have found that you would prefer a different email, I'm happy to take this one off and add a different one. I'm using my U of L email for this one, so that I can just easily access Microsoft Teams for free with all the bells and whistles. If you create your own Microsoft Teams account that is not associated with your school or institution, or your school or institution or district has not set certain things up, then you have limited capabilities of what you can do. So I'm using U of L's, which is wide open, that has everything I could possibly need, because I am teaching from Microsoft Teams every week. So this is a free tool, but I'm using this particular account because it has lots of different options. So what will happen when you were ready to join a session? I am going to add to the spreadsheet. So again, this schedule, actually I have added it up here for you under files. So under files, oh, it's not here. I will add the schedule for you so that you have it here as well. You don't have to click back and forth between them if you don't want to. I have also linked Edmodo here and KCTE's website in case you need either of those, so that you can basically start by either opening Edmodo for the day and looking at the classes that you added, or you can go to Teams, say it's Monday the 5th, and you're like, okay, what am I going to do today? I'm going to go to a session with Dr. Eileen Shanahan at 7 o'clock. And so I'm going to go here. I'm going to double check that I'm involved in her class on Edmodo, but ultimately I'm going right here to our general thread. And I'm going to look and see what's scheduled as far as a live session for October the 5th. Well, the only one that's live is right here in the stream. You will see all the different sessions. You can also look on the calendar if you would like, but I have not added each of you to these sessions. You'll have to join on your own. So what you'll do is you'll go here and you will click on this, and it will open up a meeting where Dr. Shanahan will be talking with you for about an hour about teaching writing from a distance using notebooks, mentor texts, and more. And again, to remind you, there is a code here in case you haven't added yourself to Edmodo for all of the materials that she will share with you. So those are the live session meetings. If you cannot attend, those will all be recorded. So once they're recorded, there will be a brief period where it prepares, but those will be available as recordings in your stream on Teams. And you will just click stream and you will be able to see it. But also, I'm going to post links to them on our private YouTube. Actually, it's my private YouTube channel, so that you could just easily go there if you'd like to watch them. The recordings will also show up in this general chat thread. So I realize this is a lot of navigational things, but again, I'm trying to showcase free tools that can be used for professional learning, for communicating with students, and also using things that I'm familiar with so that I can help people if needed to navigate through this. So just to summarize and quickly go over this one more time, you will go to Teams. After I've added you, you should see our team, and then you will use Edmodo to fill out your session surveys after you have engaged in a live session on Team or watched the recording on Teams. And you will only go to these courses that you've added to your own Edmodo to get materials, to engage in discussion, to email or message people in your group, or to reference something that the session presenter is telling you to reference. This is sort of a holding place for us to house our materials and to collect your session reflection forms. So that's basically the navigation of this conference, and I just also want to take some time to share with you what it is we're planning to do as an organization. So again, remember that in Teams, I have linked the KCTE website. So to go to the website, you can just click there within your Teams group. And so we have on here our main page, and we have a menu that has other places to go. The conference stuff is all right here, so any conferences that we put on are here. We do publish an academic journal called the Kentucky English Bulletin. I'm not sure if you have seen it before or knew that we did that, but we are in our umpteenth year, decades of having this published. And in it, we showcase both teacher writing and student writing that wins our student writing contest. So this is password protected, and you will get the password when you are a member when a new edition has been published. So if you need any information on that, you can email us and let us know if you were not aware that it's published here. But things that go on for that, how is it that you can get information on how to publish? Well, we are going to be sharing with you a call for proposals, and we would love for you to submit to our editorial board, and they will consider your entry. We like to publish all different types of pieces, including poetry and, fictional pieces, creative writing, if that's something you're interested in sharing. But we also always have some sort of theme or call that is related to issues in education that are going on in the current climate. So be looking for that, as we will be sharing information about that throughout the conference. And then we also have an opportunity for you to collect work from your students and have that published in the journal. So the journal is published online twice a year, up to 3 times a year. But the student writing edition is published each fall or early winter with all of the first, second, and third place contest winners. So our student writing contest is for members of KCTE only, and I would encourage you to become a member if you have not already, so that you can take advantage of this and other opportunities that are just for members, including discounted conference registrations, participation in some free professional development opportunities, participation on our committees, and also our board and our committees if you're looking to add to your professional resume, and then also participation in this writing contest. So we have elementary, so grades K through 2 and then 3 through 5, middle school grades 6 through 8, high school 9 through 12, college, and then we also have a multimodal composition category now, which is kind of new if you've already heard about our student writing contest in the past. Our categories for submissions are narrative, informative, explanatory, opinion, argument, poetry, and then the multimodal composition. So if you are assigning these types of writings and you would like to try and get your students recognized, I would really recommend you start collecting them early. The contest runs to the end of May every year, and then over the summer they're judged by different section vice presidents and the teams that they assemble to judge. When the winners are selected, the students and the teachers are made aware that they have winners, and the students receive a certificate and will be published in our only print copy of the journal. They will receive a copy, and you as the teacher will also receive a copy. The submission forms are here. You can we will update this call because we extended it this past year based on the situation with COVID. So we will go ahead and update this once we open it next week for new submissions. And the instructions are here. There's a very specific format that the files need to follow. So when it comes time to inform the winners and publish, we'll have all the information that we need. The contest chairs are listed here. So if you need any help with this, that would be the place to go to ask. If you have a first place winner in any category, you will win a $25 gift card to Amazon, and you will also receive free membership for the year, so your renewal will be taken care of. This is an added incentive for you to be a member, but also to submit your student writing. We have many different schools across the state that submit every year, but you have just as good a chance as anyone, so I would suggest you consider it. The other thing to note is that we have awards for our members, and you can actually nominate someone even if you're not a member, and the person that you're nominating also does not have to be a member. So if you're attending this conference and you just know there's someone that should be recognized formally, we have awards open through November 1st, which is fast approaching. And we have Teachers of the Year, which are formally recognized at our February conference. We'll have to see how that plays out this year. With a plaque, and your name, of course, is mentioned in the program. Also, Administrator of the Year, and this could be any kind of administrator, so it doesn't necessarily have to be the principal. The Gretchen Nevis Service Award, so for someone who has extraordinary service to the English language arts field. And then there's a grant, a $500 classroom learning grant that you can apply for. There have been years where we sadly haven't gotten any applications for that. As long as we can see how you're going to use this money to further the English language arts field and try out something you'd really like to test out with your students, but just need a little bit of money to help you, you'll receive a $500 check, and then we'll just expect you to share at our next upcoming conference, whatever that one might be, about it. So past Teachers of the Year are recognized on our website as well, so you can kind of read about them and understand who they are if you're interested. But if you'd like to apply, you can just click on this link to each one of them and fill out the form. As much information as you can give us about the nominee, the better, so that we can evaluate all of the submissions and make decisions. The winners will be notified probably by the first of the year. It just depends on how long it takes us to get through all of the submissions as a board. So that's kind of what we've got going on. On our website, you also will see some other information, like you can take a look at our advocacy efforts. We usually post about those when we do them, but over on the right side of the menu, you can see all of the menu tabs. So if you're interested in looking at the KEB, so the Kentucky English Bulletin submission guidelines, it's here. If you would like to register for any of our conferences, you can do that here. And then finally, again, if you'd like to take a look at our advocacy efforts, you can take a look at some things that we have been doing to acknowledge the power that ELA teachers have in Kentucky specifically, but nationally as well. We do have an updated diversity statement as of February 2020, and we're working on even updating that further as needed based on recent events. So I think that pretty much tells you what we have to offer here on our website, but something that I really want to acknowledge and talk to you about too is just how important it is that we continue to engage with each other, and also in just quality professional learning opportunities, even though we may not be able to do that face to face. We are trying to offer that for you in this first fall conference, and we're hoping that we can continue with a spring one and we can get a summer one going. It would be really nice if we could do that face-to-face once again, but we don't know when that will be, so we're going to plan to do them digitally for the foreseeable future. This also, even though it may not be as fun, it is a better way to reach more teachers and students. So if you have any ideas about that or what you would like, we would appreciate you adding it to an email or the overall session evaluation forms that you fill out for this particular conference. So I really appreciate you joining us, and I will also be sharing with you a 15-minute introductory video about culturally responsive teaching from an Alabama colleague of mine, Diana Miner. She is a PhD candidate, and she is a trainer for advanced placement courses in Alabama through the A+ prep program. But she is a wonderful person just in general, and I heard her speak over the summer to a large, thousands of people group, and I just thought what she had to share was really interesting, and it made me rethink my definition of culturally responsive teaching. So I am going to share that link with you in the email that this video goes out in. And I'll post it also. It's actually on the spreadsheet, I believe, but I'll post it in the opening session so that you can see it anytime you want and share it with anyone you'd like. She's given me the option to share it freely, and I really appreciate that, so I want to. So between this and that, you've got an opening session. You understand hopefully how this conference will work. And you also understand what KCTE has to offer in the short term and where we think we're headed in the future. It's really important that we stick together. And I have often admittedly felt detached from NCTE, even though every time I go to the conference, I get something great. It's just really difficult for me to rationalize spending money on a digital conference that's so large when I know that I can come right here to Kentucky and get something either cheaper or free that is in fact quality learning from amazing people who are smart and who are in the same state as me, who understand the priorities, the standards, and the things that are going on in Kentucky. If you're joining us from outside Kentucky, everything you hear is going to be applicable to you as well. It's just that we are the Kentucky Council of Teachers of English and Language Arts. So we are, in fact, going to showcase a lot of work from people in the state of Kentucky. So I appreciate you being here, and please reach out to me if you have any more questions. Just so you're also aware, if you have not tried to do a flipped lesson, or I can't imagine how with things the way they are right now, or done any recorded sessions of yourself like this one, I would highly suggest using Loom, which is what I'm using. It's a Chrome extension, and it's kind of like Screencastify, which is another one I like to use. What I like about it is that my little face is down here too. Sometimes it's just better to see someone's face, even if they're speaking over slides. Especially when you're dealing with students. I think it humanizes us when we otherwise may not ever get to see the faces of our students. At least they can see ours. So if you haven't tried out Loom, check it out. I'm always going to share with you tools that I'm using in hopes that one of them might be something you haven't heard of and that you might like to check out. Loom is also 100% free. So I hope you enjoy. Again, let me know if you need anything, and have a great day.